time to sit. I just gotta talk about stupid Stuttering John for a second. Eh, I guess he came back, right? He was doing some shows because he took 8 months off because everyone was just ragging him so hard. He decided to file a lawsuit against Shuley over at Uncle Rico and Carl over at Who Are These Podcasts for $600,000. The guy is such an idiot. Another frivolous lawsuit that will be thrown out. I mean, it would be fun to watch a trial, a judge, discovery, all the things that go with a trial. It would be fun to watch that, have to go on and see John in a courtroom. It would be hilarious. But I assure you, this will never get to that point. A judge will look at the complaint that was filed by John and his, I don't even want to call him a lawyer. He's got some guy that was up on charges, hit and run, whatever it was. I don't know. But any judge, and whatever judge they get, is going to look at this and be like, you're kidding me, right? This idiot does a podcast and people goof on it, and he thinks that's actionable. This idiot is a public figure. All he does is talk about what an amazing public figure he's been over the course of the years. And as we all know, public figure has a much harder time getting a case together when they feel they've been wronged, either slander, libel. There's a much more stringent criteria put on a public figure. You have to really fit into certain categories, and what you did and what your intent was, in order for a celebrity to file a legitimate complaint against you for slander, libel. Also, the lawsuit, I think it deals with using his name and image to sell tickets or to sell a promotion for live events that Who Are These Podcasts and Uncle Rico have done. I went to a couple of these. They're great. Had so much fun. But John's saying that they used his voice and image to promote these shows that were about him. It's totally not in the same category as people that, you put up a sign and say, the home, this, come on in, buy a drink, the home of John Melendez. John Melendez appearing tonight. Any of those promotions like that, of course, it's not going to be there. Hi, this.
Thank you, Anthony Cumia. Or thanks once again. Welcome to Dabbling in the Verse, the only show that randomly comes on when everybody else is on, apparently. Because I just noticed this little piggy and Stuttering John are on. So, hey, if you're here, thank you. So I just want to go over yesterday. Stuttering John. Oh, come on. Yesterday, sorry, my backstage. Never mind. Dude. Okay, I need to learn UV Mux a little bit more. Anyway. God, I got off track. That killed me. Anyway, Stuttering John yesterday proved how incredibly stupid he is. I just thought it was an amazing show yesterday. If you didn't watch it, you go back and watch the entire Stuttering John podcast from yesterday. You can skip over the guitarists section where he goes through all the guitarists that he has no idea who they are because they have existed after the 1990s. But I pulled out some really good parts that just show that John is pretty dumb. So let's check this out. I got him muted. Let's
Is that still Pocky? Still trying to get my love? I didn't know where my phone was. Yes, of course. The children are alive and well. I got to start doing that to him when he broadcasts.
What's funny is that John is such a great broadcaster and so much better at this than everybody else. He doesn't understand that everybody else silences their phone during their streams. It was obvious he didn't get this. Remember back when he and Vinnie Paulino were friends, and Vinnie was talking to Carl, and John kept sending him text messages, and John was really upset that Vinnie wasn't getting his text messages or replying or saying anything. Mostly because Vinnie, as a professional, had his phone off and he wasn't looking at it because he's concentrating on the show. But John doesn't get that. So you'll see. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, maybe I should. I don't know. I'm not that.
Oh yeah, that was right. He said he should do it to Cumia, and it's like I'm saying, go for it. Do it to Cumia. He's not going to pick it up. He's not going to see it because His phone is probably silenced or off or over in the corner where he can glance at it in case he needs something. But mostly it's not going to interrupt his show because Kubiya is actually a broadcasting professional, unlike John.
Childish, though.
Drink like a fucking human.
It would be fun to do that, though. Not really. It's kind of amateurish, but then again.
He also blocked Anthony on everything a couple days ago when he was talking about Anthony. Anthony was trying to call him, and everybody was saying, pick up. And John blocked him on everywhere, so it's unlikely that with Anthony.
Look how far he's fallen.
Fallen into several $100,000 a year career in AM radio, of all things. And also the money that he's making on Compound Media, or Compound Censored now.
But I digress.
I'm sure you do.
Just going to put some L's in here. Of course, love.
God, this stupid shit.
Because I know that you guys like putting the L's because you are, like me, you're a firm believer in peace, love, and harmony.
Only for people who only for people who give him money or do work for him.
James.
Especially if you have a different political take. If you have a different political take than he has, then no, you must die.
Sullivan, thanks for bringing this up. Yes, I am on Cameo. I believe I charge. How much do I charge? I just turned my phone off. I believe I charge 100. Is it 100 or 70? I don't know.
He doesn't even know what he charges.
But I don't because let's face it. Some of the people are these losers that I won't mention that get people to get one. So because they're so starving for Stuttering John content because they don't know how to produce their own content. They need me because there is a thing known as a parasite. They are parasites that feed off another organism, the host. And I am the hostess with the mostest.
Here's the thing that John doesn't understand about marketing. It's like he thinks that if you charge more, you'll get more, but he doesn't actually understand his value. Like he overvalues himself like by a lot, $100 for a Cameo, $75. No, if he did like I said when he first started up the Cameo stuff, it was at like $50, and I was like, that's way too much for a Cameo. And I said I'd buy 5 Cameos if they were $10 a piece, but John doesn't understand this concept because I've had to actually sell, I guess you could say, artworks or works of, I would say, artistic design, like design works that I've made. And yes, I put a lot of work into them, and I wanted to sell them, for $100 a piece or whatever. But I sold them for $1 a piece, and I sold a shit ton. It was a 3D model that I created for 3D printing. It turns your regular LED Christmas lights, the little micro LED Christmas lights, and it basically is a bulb that you could just slip over it. You 3D print it out of translucent material. Translucent PETG would be the best. And it's designed to slip over the thing, so it makes it look like it's a traditional incandescent bulb. Sold a bunch of them. It took me a day or two to create, so I guess it didn't take me that much effort. Put it up for 99 cents. Anybody could print them. Sold a bunch. John doesn't understand this concept. He thinks that he is more valuable than $10, $15 a Cameo. I mean, if he did $20 a Cameo, he'd be busy all the time and probably make tons of money.
But thank you, James O'Sullivan, for bringing up Cameo. I do like to do those. Feel free to order one.
And
it's weird because I used to do it, I don't know, 8 years ago I started doing it, maybe even 10 years ago. Whenever it first came out, and I was up to like $5,000 in cameos. In those days, I think I only did charge 25.
See, there was a point where he understood it.
No, I think it was 50 or whatever it was. I only got like 37 out of it. But then I forgot. I don't know. I think I stopped doing it, and then the account, I don't know, somehow I didn't remember my password. I couldn't get the
Somehow.
old one back, so I had to start all over again.
Mr. Mensa, who remembers everything, forgot.
Thank you, James. I hope you're having a good Thursday.
Photographic memory.
I do like to entertain. It's what I was born to do, and at some point, I got to go back to what I love doing. At least
you can start any day
before
John.
I take the LSATs.
Oh, this is great.
And then I'll probably go to law school.
John in law school. How does he think he's going to take the LSAT? Oh, this is
it's just
rich.
Something I might want to be my next pillar of the Stuttering John success story. How cool would that be, huh?
Oh, it would be fantastic if John could actually become a lawyer. There's absolutely no way. I know there are lawyers out there that aren't particularly intelligent, but you have to have at least a minimum amount of ability to learn. John barely knows how to hit the go live button in StreamYard. I'm pretty sure he's not going to do great as a lawyer.
Oh, that would be fun.
Or in law school. And he doesn't even understand what's involved in law school either.
Of course, it would be entertainment law.
Oh, of course. How about bird law? I think you'd do great in bird law.
No, I'm not like Donald Trump. I care about the poor. I care about the marginalized.
Only if they pay him and have the views that he has.
I love all people.
Unless they're Republicans.
Of all walks of life.
Unless they're Republicans.
So no, I'm not like Donald Trump, the worst president we have ever had in our history.
Citation needed. Actually, there have been several pretty awful presidents.
Bob, too, I don't know what this means. Probably something in code. Love the show. Keep jingling those. I don't know. Shoe.
He knows exactly what this means. We all know he watched Cumia light him up. We all know he knows what that means. Not fooling anybody, John.
Juggler Jen, would you have Richard?
I just put this in because it's Juggalette Jen. Hey, Jen.
Pryor Jr. on your show. I didn't know there was a Richard Pryor Jr.
Actually, didn't either.
Richard Pryor was
probably a
legendary comedian that we should all aspire to be. Girl one, explain your convenience item joke.
Oh, here we go.
It's confusing. Well, I used to do something like that item come with a cock or whatever, and
you
then
say cock,
and then I would say, what'd you get? Like if it was a shirt, what was that next to? What was that next to the Tic Tacs and chewing gum? A convenience item. I didn't get all that out when those hecklers were doing it. I didn't really care to.
Because he's such a professional comedian, he didn't really care to go after the hecklers.
I just wasn't in the mood to really entertain them. I knew they were trolls.
Yeah, they're hecklers. As a professional comedian, you should be able to deal with that. But he's not a professional comedian. He's never performed anywhere where, well, until recently, he's never performed anywhere where he wasn't Stuttering John from Howard Stern, and everybody was super excited to see him. And he didn't get a lot of hecklers, but there was a lot of people there. But now he's just Stuttering John, I was going to say washed up has-been, but he wasn't really a has-been. As I said before, John's not really a has-been, but he's not really a never was. He's sort of like in between because he hasn't really done anything like by himself. Like he's worked for some big places, especially Howard Stern and The Tonight Show. But what did he do there? He wasn't really anything there. He was a goofball to be made fun of, but also he was there. He did stuff. He was on air, so he's not really a never was either. He's like in this weird middle ground. Wait, what was it?
with a hawk or whatever, and then I would say, what'd you get? Like if it was a shirt, what was that next to? What was that next to the Tic Tacs and chewing gum? A convenience item. I didn't get all that out when those hecklers were doing it. I didn't really care to. I just wasn't in the mood to really entertain them. I knew they were.
I don't think
trolls.
John's ever in the mood to really entertain anybody.
Uh,
Oh yeah, explain the joke. Well, John?
Here, I met a guy. His name was Roy G. Biv. A pretty colorful individual. Although I think he was on the spectrum. But now he ended up in prison. Nobody's going to get that. You have to be a science teacher to understand that.
Literally everybody gets that, John. I don't understand where he thinks. Okay, as somebody who is not a scientist, is not a science teacher, but who is a cheerleader of science and has an interest in science and curiosity about the world about us, Roy G. Biv, the colors of the spectrum, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, was first described by none other than Isaac Newton. Now, current days, spectroscopy, spectral analysis, current spectral analysis says that the indigo really isn't there. There's no real indigo in the Roy G. Biv, and it is widely considered or widely believed that because of Newton's sort of interest in the number 7 as it occurs in nature, his observations of the number 7 as it occurs in nature, prompted him to have the 7 colors in the spectrum, in the rainbow. But there's really, I mean, it sort of depends on who you ask and what's going on, but there's not really an indigo in there. And you would think a science teacher with recent experience would be able to give such a fun fact.
Worst Viking ever. Do you know a lot of people don't even know what Roy G. Biv means? A lot of schools didn't teach it. All my friends in England never heard of Roy G. Biv.
Probably because it's not really anything necessary to learn, or they might have learned it a different way or know it somewhere else. It's actually pretty recent, within the 19th century, that actually somebody came up with the, acronym Roy G. Biv to describe the colors of the spectrum. But also, this goes into something that Carl from WATP recently said on one of his shows that I don't remember which one. He does so many shows, but he stated that he doesn't think that stupid people think that they're smarter than everybody else. They think that everybody else is dumber than they are, or at least as dumb as they are.
Now, I wonder if any of you know what Roy G. Biv means. Please.
A lot more than you do, John.
Let's see, without Googling it, does anybody know what Roy G. Biv is? I was stoned last night and thought of that.
Hey, John, did you know that the solar systems and the universes all kind of look like atoms, and maybe we're just atoms in a cosmic soup of maybe somebody else? Jesus.
I know it's stupid, but I just thought it was so stupid it was funny. Yeah, I met a girl named Dawn. She was pretty enlightening. Big fan. Hi, John. What is a polynomial? Why should I tell you? If you don't know it, that you have a problem. I mean, and if you're going to ask me
John doesn't know what a polynomial is.
The questions like that, at least make it more than $1.99. JFK head chunk. No, not for.
You see, here's the thing. John doesn't know what a polynomial is, obviously, and we'll see that later. But I don't know what a polynomial is either. I also had to look it up because it's been over 20 years since I took algebra. And even though, yes, my current job does include using using math, we usually use terms like equations or algorithms, or even better, a library that already has all that stuff in it, and we can just include the library into our code and then call the library functions from there. But John absolutely, within the last couple of years, said he was an algebra teacher. So as an algebra teacher, as somebody who loves to teach, he could have told us what a polynomial is.
$2. Not for $2. Not doing it. Not taking the bait, if you will. But the tariffs are killing us.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan. Hi, John. What is a polynomial? Why should I tell you? If you don't know what that, you have a problem.
I had it small.
If you're going to ask me stupid questions like that, at least make it more than $1.99. JFK head chunk. No, not for $2.
John literally doesn't know what tariffs are. And I know that John doesn't know what tariffs are or what they're doing, because I don't know what tariffs. Well, I know what tariffs are and what their intended purpose is. All John knows is
not for $2.
So they're bad.
Not doing it. Not taking the bait, if you will. But the tariffs are killing us.
How, John?
And that's a fact, Jack.
Describe it.
Because of the tariffs, prices are rising. Small businesses are going out of business.
Buy domestic.
Even the price of beer is going up because of the price of aluminum.
Now, that is true. We do have a problem in this country where we don't have huge bauxite deposits. Bauxite is the aluminum oxide that, you run a large amount of electricity through it, and the aluminum comes out of it. And here in this country, I think it's in Georgia, it's in the southeast somewhere, that we actually have some minor bauxite deposits where we can do that. I had to actually look this up a while ago, because I was like, why are we paying so much tariffs on aluminum? Why can't we just make the aluminum here? Well, we don't have enough of the deposits here to make a whole lot of aluminum, so we do have to import it. So we need to import it from trade partners rather than, I forget exactly where the major country where we import aluminum from. But I think we probably have enough aluminum in this country right now where we can just basically recycle it all. If we recycle all the aluminum that we have, because it's pretty much infinitely recyclable, if we recycle the aluminum that we have, and steel for that matter, then if we do that here, we'd probably have more than enough raw materials. But that's the problem is, believe it or not, most of our recycled metals actually are bought by China to be recycled and sold back to us. That is literally the truth. It's fucking amazing.
Thanks to the tariffs. But you guys love this fucking dotard, don't you? You dumb fucks.
Thank you, John.
Sal Angelo, thanks for the 20. Big 20 today. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, Sal. I'll pay you $100 if you answer this call. I don't have any desire to talk to, in my opinion, a staunch and utter racist.
But he was okay talking with the staunch and utter racist when he was having him on his show on Compound Media and having him over to his house to play cards. Remember, that was years after Anthony was kicked off of SiriusXM for what they called racist remarks. So John knew about it.
Not only in my opinion, I think Sirius and XM, didn't they fire him because of that exact same thing?
Years before.
Didn't he refer to African American? I mean, I could be wrong, but I kind of remember a word.
I believe she was Hispanic.
Let's say that
savage.
It rhymes with ravage. That he was calling a certain woman on the street or something, or tweeting it out. I'm not that sure, but it's kind of disgusting and awful behavior, and not anything I condone. I don't condone hate in any way, shape, or form, and never.
Just do it.
Will. Thank you, though, Sal. No, I'm JFK head chunk. No, no, I'm not going to read that, and there's nothing to do with that. I think it's something that I've always wanted to be. You know, I know people in my life have said I should be that. Karen used to tell me that all the time. All the women have always told me.
Yeah, he said his wife, his girlfriends, or whatever has always told him, you should be a lawyer. Yeah, and it comes up later that that's not a compliment. That means you just argue because
That I
you
should
argue
be,
the
that I
point.
would make a great
And of course, he always argues with the women, right?
litigator. Even Vince has complimented me and
Oh well, if Vince said it, yeah, you should definitely try getting into law school.
said I would make a great litigator. It's something that I enjoy doing. I love to argue. 76.
He loves to argue, except with you know, Carl or Anthony or pretty much anybody else. He legitimately doesn't like to argue with anybody since leaving Stern. I haven't seen him argue with a single person, never put himself in a position to argue with anybody. Now on Stern, yeah, they argued all the time, but I think John always thought it was a bit. Like there was the recently on the Blunder Years, they went through their trip, the California trip for private parts, where John uh, racked up huge bills. You know, even a laundry bill at the Four Seasons there in California, and was caught smoking weed out in the tent and stuff, and he's being yelled at by everybody basically. And then towards the end of it, when Howard's like, "Hey, get out of here," John was like, "Oh, that was a good bit," and Howard was like, "That wasn't a fucking bit."
SPZL. Listen,
By the way, this equation, if you want to know what a polynomial is, to the left of the equal sign is a polynomial, and to the right is a constant. If you have, say, something like the quadratic, or the not the quadratic equation, yeah, quadratic equation: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The Pythagorean theorem. God, Pythagorean theorem: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. To the left of the equals is a polynomial. To the right is a monomial.
I'm not going to.
Once again, yes, I did have to look that up. It's been over 20 years since I've took algebra. And also, I solved this pretty quickly. I did have to try to remember how I was taught to do it. But basically, I was just like, what's, what times 3 equals 9? So I just basically said, well, what minus 6 equals 3? It's like 9. Okay, what times 3 equals 9? Well, it's 3. That's the way I did it in my head. The real way to do it, well, the way I was taught is we would add 6 to each side. So we would have 3x equals 9, then divide by 3 on each side. So x equals 3.
To take the bait. Okay? It's not happening.
But is Mr. Algebra Teacher John, with recent algebra teacher experience, going to drop into his algebra teacher mode and do some algebra teaching for people? Of course not, because he has no idea.
It is not happening. So, therefore, I am not going to take that bite. Do I know the answer? Yes,
No.
I do. But I'm not going to tell you what the answer is. But I think you know it as well.
Because he doesn't know.
What is the order of operations in an algebraic equation? Well, some call it PEMDAS, or some call it, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And judging with that, I think that equation you just wrote is fairly simple.
Order of operations literally has nothing to do with this equation. And also, depending on what region you grew up in the world, it's PEMDAS or PEDMAS. You can the division and multiplication are actually supposed to happen at the same time. It's whatever, it doesn't matter. He doesn't know what he's talking about, and because order of operations literally has nothing to do with this.
And that is something I would easily teach when I taught algebra in 7th grade, but not taking the bait. I do know the answer, and so do you. Blue entry.
He does not know.
Remarks on Fatty Patty doxing somebody else's new addresser. I'm not a fan of doxing, although many people have doxed me. It's not something that I enjoy.
Keep in mind, this is literally the day after he doxed Clearwater Chad.
I know a lot of people have accused me of that, especially with the Clearwater Chad, which was very cryptic and did not dox his address.
It was not very cryptic.
Nor did I dox.
See, he thinks he was clever and cryptic, and that's the problem. He's an idiot. Everybody picked up on it immediately.
His occupation.
Because he's a child. He's a child. He thinks that, oh, look at how sneaky and clever I was. And the adults just looking at him like, yes, John, you're very sneaky and clever. That was very clever of you, John. No, we all got it. We all know what you're doing. We all know what you're up to.
And I didn't even dox really his name, so please. And
that is true. He basically tried to threaten that he knows Chad's information. However, Clearwater Chad has already stated many times that John has tried to get his information out of him live, that it's out there if you want to get it. So if you want to get Clearwater Chad's information, please don't leave the poor guy alone. He's a nice guy.
Enough. And it was the least I could do after what he did to me.
All he did was ask a couple of questions that Rocco sent him.
I still have the scar in my back.
He didn't stab.
There we go.
See, the thing is, I like Clearwater Chad stabbed him in the back. Oh, he didn't stab him in the back. He asked him a couple of silly questions. But, he wasn't no Clay Dabbler. Although Clay did a pretty good job the other day of really fucking with John.
Still at it. He's still at it. He can't. This guy, he can't get enough of me. He can't get enough of my love. He can't get.
Since John blocked Cumia, which I'm assuming is who he's talking about, I doubt that's Cumia.
Get enough of my love.
God, this episode is so full of singing. There are two things in this episode. I mean, I downloaded that. I think we're going to do. I might do an all singing supercut and an all doing nothing supercut, because there's a lot of empty space in this. And there's, like, I looked at the waveform, and it's just a bunch of empty space, blah 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 blah, bunch of empty space. I mean, there's a lot of it was cut out of here, obviously. I mean, obviously, I took his whole hour and a half and trimmed it down to like 17 and a half minutes.
What time today, my friend?
Oh, it ended up being his buddy, I guess. Oh, no, wait. No, that was a Hey, John, you're on the air. Mr. Better Broadcaster than Anthony Cumia over here.
Brian Clowder. Thanks for the $5. Stuttering John contest. Have everybody make a 1-minute clip of playing a guitar, and you have to beat them.
Sure. Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I would do that when I get this Frankenfinger limbered up.
There are literally musicians that don't have a finger that are better, that are really good.
I started to get everything hooked in. I blew up the gym today because I knew I had so many errands to run, and there was no way. There was no way. I had to get cat litter, and I had to get BLT. I had to get my bacon and my Cuban rolls with my tomato and lettuce and my beans as a side so I could watch the Yankees.
So he literally went to the grocery store today to buy a few items, which made it so he couldn't go to the gym, apparently, and couldn't get anything else done because he took 30 minutes to go to the grocery store.
With Carlos Rodon on the hill. But good idea, Brian, and thanks for the $5. Aoife Cooper, thanks for the $5. We do take 50s
Oh,
here.
this is fucking great. Yeah.
Longtime
Yeah,
fan,
you're not
John. A
gonna
shout
get
out
him.
to my band, Hot Car Rule, our own awesome lead guitarist.
Of course, John doesn't get it at all. That's, by the way, for those who don't.
Let me
Hot
tell
Carl.
let me tell you, son, you're going to drive me to drink it if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln.
He doesn't know how to talk about Carl Hamburger.
It's a very hard riff. Whoever played that is pretty damn good. It's like Hot Dog from Led Zeppelin on the In Through the Outdoor album. Just got into town today.
I want to tell you, I know several professional musicians. The guy my mom married is one. So I met several professional musicians, and when they air guitar, they don't do it like that. They actually, mimic the chords that they use when they do air guitar. They actually mimic the actual chords. They don't go blah, 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 whatever this is.
FIFA Cooper. FIFA Cooper. Chris Engel.
As I said, yesterday's episode, very, very song heavy. If you want to hear, DJ Dabbles, Who Can Forget This? You guys listen to this. Yesterday's John podcast, fantastic source of music.
Being told you make a good lawyer is not a compliment. Yes, it is.
No, it is.
Of course it is. It most certainly is.
It most certainly is.
It means you argue for the sake of arguing. No, it means I'm a great arguer.
It means they're pissed off at always having to argue with you.
It means I'm a great debater. I'm a master.
Johnny, you make a really good lawyer.
Debater. That's all it means. Any marriage that ends in divorce is a failure. Yes, I guess.
Yes.
But sometimes it's better for all parties involved.
Especially for somebody who wants new pizza.
And it's a smart adult thing to do. James O'Sullivan, can you be my lawyer for a contract with Turner Adult Swim? First of all, I'm not a lawyer at the moment. But because I do have my bachelor's degree.
Oh, this is great. You notice how he always says he has a 4-year degree or a bachelor's degree, but he never really says what it's about?
I only have to do 3 years. Which, knowing, since I'm the Duke and I have incredible retention.
Couldn't remember his password for for Cameo.
I could probably get through it even quicker. And then it's about passing the bar, which is quite difficult because I rarely pass a bar.
But ha. See what John has. Okay, let's just. I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah, sure, he has a degree. He has a 4-year degree. What he has, according to the diploma that he showed us, even though I believe it was a photocopy, but whatever. The proof that John has showed us that he has a degree is from the Tisch School, the New York University, NYU Tisch School of the Arts. He has a Bachelor of Fine Arts as a director. Now, I'm not completely, I don't want to get down too much on a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, as such, the business of show. A lot of people, directors, actors, musicians, artists, etc., have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree and have gone on to do great things, gone on to be great entertainers. These are the kind of degrees that are more designed to give kids or give people the tools and experience and other people in their field in order to create their visions and learn how the process operates, right? Especially at the time that John went, like having a camcorder, like a VHS recorder, was very expensive. Not everybody had it, so, if you wanted to make movies and you wanted to be a director, it's not like today where you can just look up some YouTube channels, read some books and go out with your phone and a couple of friends and go make a cool short video or for a TikTok or whatever, which happens all the time. That didn't happen at that time. So yes, having a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree at that time was a good stepping stone to a show business career. It wasn't necessary. You could just, as Rocco has said, you could just show up, start as an extra, maybe get noticed, do this, do that, work your way up. Probably not a great plan. All right. Because school does have another big benefit, and that is networking. So John has a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. A Bachelor of Fine Arts degree does not transfer over to an actual bachelor's degree or Bachelor of Science degree. The Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts. Bachelor of Arts is like the underwater basket weaving, fucking gender studies and philosophy and that sort of thing. Bachelor of Arts. Bachelor of Science is a 4 year degree and say like, engineering, computer science, that sort of thing. Chemistry, all that sort of stuff. The sort of science is a Bachelor of Science degree. But John doesn't even have like a philosophy degree. He doesn't have a business degree. He has a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, which is not, it's not like a real technical degree in that you need to know things like math or being able to how to construct a philosophical argument or know any kind of history. Bachelor of Fine Arts degree is basically, this is 3-point lighting, and this is how you block a scene. Stuff like that. Or, when you get out on the stage, your mark is over there. Turn here, read your lines, turn this way, look at that mark over there, look at this mark over, and then go over here and hit that mark and then go off the stage. That sort of stuff. So it's not really graded. It's more pass-fail, and it's more about getting the resources and networking and people together in order to move forward in a career, which John did not do, obviously. Anyway, that does not translate over into only needing 3 more years of law school. John would need to start right from the beginning and actually take an actual degree that has actual requirements that include math, history, science, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which he couldn't do that simple equation. There's no way he's getting a law degree.
But I am considering it. The reason being,
I hope he
not for
does.
what you think it is. The reason being is because I like to help people that can't afford these high-priced attorneys. See,
people like himself. Essentially, I think what he wants to do is he wants to be a jailhouse attorney. Maybe if he goes to jail, he'll have time to go study at the at the jail's law library and become a lawyer that way. Because I think that's kind of what he wants. Is he wants to not have to pay for a lawyer. But one of the first things you learn as a lawyer is never be your own lawyer.
CCPD, and they'll find it. I already have things going on right now with the CCPD that I don't really want to mention, but let's say it includes a certain vegetable.
And you're still on.
Who, by the way, I have not revealed his name, where he lives, or anything else yet.
Good thing you don't like the docs.
And I don't necessarily intend to. unless, well, we'll
But it's okay. Don't worry, Cardiff. He doesn't like to dox people.
see. I'm playing it by ear.
He's against doxing.
Just, in case. I know that guy, it's only $2, but everybody knows a polynomial is a mathematical expression composed of variables, coefficients.
Of course, John knows exactly what a polynomial is. He just looked it up. Recent algebra teacher, recent high school algebra teacher, by the way.
Exponents connected by addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and with the constraint that exponents must be whole numbers, non-negative integers. Everybody knows that. I don't know why he decided to ask.
Everybody knows that, except me. I had to actually look it up. As I said, I had to look it up too, but that's because the last time I had to know what a polynomial was like over 20 years ago. John was just recently a algebra substitute teacher.
Ask me that. It's a very simple answer. Ghost Crusaders TV. Hey, John, how many times did you go to Leno's houses?
This is great.
Once to Leno's house with me, the head writer, and the head writer's wife. He used to have parties, but he stopped because people started complaining. But
see, the thing about this question that John doesn't understand, and recently came up in I don't know if it was Rico or WATP or whatever, but famously, I guess Leno every weekend on Sundays had all the writers over for writing sessions at his house. So Leno would. So if John was a writer, he would have been over there basically every Sunday or every weekend for a writing session over at Leno's house. And that's what Gross Crusaders is asking. So it would have been, was it 15 years times 52?
Plenty of times to his garage, which is like his second home. He's got a full kitchen there. He has Thanksgiving dinner there. So if you count that, then you got to say maybe 20 or 30 times.
As I said, what John just basically admitted to is, yeah, he wasn't a writer.
So there's that. Maybe 10 to 20, I don't know. JFK Head Chunk, what job would make Pocky a real broadcaster? He doesn't have the chops to be a real broadcaster. He's boring. He's not entertaining. I mean, that's just a fact, Jack.
Literally on an AM channel and on their mobile app around the world, syndicated in a bunch of markets, still doing his Compound Media show, Compound Censored now with Gavin McInnes. Beloved and watched and has a huge following. Has so much of a huge following. I mean, this is what's wild about Cumia, right? It's like I always knew he probably had a pretty good following, even though Compound was starting to lose money all the time. But I didn't realize how huge a following until he actually got on. Was it WABC or 77 WABC or whatever it is? Anyway, you can look it up, and I suggest you go ahead and get their app and listen to Cumia. It's fantastic, fantastic show. He had so much of a following that it only took a couple. I mean, he was on Sunday nights at 8. That's where they started him. They were just like, oh, we're just going to kind of give you a chance. Sunday nights at 8. They gave Cumia. And within a couple of weeks, well, what was it, like a month, 2 months? It was really quickly after. They're like, actually, we're going to give you an extra hour. So it went from 2 hours to 3 hours. And then a couple months after that, they got syndication. All of a sudden, everybody else wanted Anthony on their AM station at that time slot, but they only gave him I think it was the first 2 hours, the last 2 hours, or something like that. It wasn't the whole 3 hours. And then as more people jumped onto the syndication, they're like, no, we want the whole thing. Excuse me. So within something like 6 months, he went from a couple hours on Sunday on one AM station, well, in the app, worldwide on the app, because that's what all AM stations do now. You can go to any AM station, they have the app. You can listen live on the app. Or you can even listen to reruns and everything like that. And a lot of them, like the local station out here, actually has the local AM station out here has the app, and has each jock or each show actually also has the syndicated shows. Obviously, they all have like Hannity and whatnot. They all have their own sort of app where you can like subscribe to them and get like behind the scenes stuff, extra content, and all this stuff like that, like everybody else does. But even local jocks have that now too. So, or not jocks, but hosts. Where was I going? Oh yeah. So Cumia got this wild amount of success immediately and still maintains it, obviously, which also led to him getting a fill-in week for Bill O'Reilly when Bill O'Reilly was out. So John, this is a great screenshot, by the way. So John here, who is talking to, I think it's about 100 people, 150 people, and who are taking shots at him for $200 a piece, or $220 a piece, is a real broadcaster. I mean, John is the real deal. He knows what he's doing. He's entertaining. He's got dozens of people looking at him and goofing on him. Cumia has tens of thousands of people listening to him and either agreeing or disagreeing, but enjoying the content. But, doesn't have the chops, not entertaining.
He's just not. He's a horrible host. He just is. He doesn't know how to ask questions. He's just bad. What amount?
John thinks because he asked Clearwater Chad how many chicks he's had sex with, or how many women he's had sex with, makes him. He's still right in that. He thinks that makes him the greatest host, the greatest broadcasting host ever. Because nobody ever thought of asking Chad how many women he's had sex with. It's like, no, we don't care. We're all not 16. We're all over 16. We don't care anymore. You've only been with one woman. Good for you. Fantastic. That's great. You found the right one. Whatever. And it's like, even said, which is funny that he goofs on Chad for that, because his boy Hitman Dan and his wife were high school sweethearts, and they're still married, and they're the only people that each other have had sex with. They took each other's virginity, and they're the only one. But apparently that's okay, because it's John's friend, and that's how John is. He'll goof on you for anything if he doesn't like you. He'll nothing. John's the kind of guy where if he doesn't like you, then you could do no right, and if he likes you, you can do no wrong.
Now, to make you work at WAC 3 hours Sunday, why? Why would I want to? Nobody listens to AM radio.
John doesn't understand that. John doesn't and will never understand the technology. AM radio is actually moving. Like, it's still AM radio, right? You can still tune in your car, but all the AM stations now also have the app. So it's basically like having podcasts, with commercial. Well, podcasts these days have so many commercials now that that it's probably fewer commercials on the app, on the listening to the AM stations on the app. But John just does not and has not and cannot understand current technology, which will make him a fantastic lawyer. Okay, I got a video. Can we bring in the TV with the VCR? It's like, no. Here's a thumb drive. We'll put it on the computer, and it'll go up on that monitor over there. It's like, it doesn't look like a thumb. Fuck off. He literally has no idea how to do anything.
It's a dying.
It is.
Platform. I mean, no one listens. It's a dying medium.
I will actually say that that I do listen to AM radio, sort of. I put on a station that I put on the local conservative station wherever I'm at, the one that comes in, and that's where I usually leave my radio. And I'll listen to it from the time that I turn on the car to the time I plug in my phone and start up a podcast. That's my AM radio consumption. Actually, when I listen to Kumia, I listen here at home on the website or on the app. I have the app, yes, and I do listen to Kumia on occasion, not all the time. Anyway, that's what I got. I just thought John's video from yesterday was incredibly dumb, but had a lot to it. Okay, like those are the parts that were actually him being dumb. I want to make another supercut, which with all the empty air, with all the dead air. There was a lot of dead air in that episode, and I just kind of want to see how much of it there is. And then there's also a lot of singing. So a lot of dead air, a lot of being dumb, and a lot of singing. That the yesterday's Stuttering John podcast had it all. So I suggest you go check it out. If it's still available, I don't know. I haven't looked. I downloaded it, so I don't care. If it's not still available, it will be available. Check the links in the description on my Kick channel. Get it while it's hot. My the way Kick works is that video VODs only stay around for 7 days and can only have so many at a time. So there will only be so many VODs available that'll get kicked off. And if any of those VODs are older than 7 days, they'll also get kicked off. But because I stream snipe so much with it, they don't usually reach 7 days. They usually reach about 5 or 6 days before they drop off the bottom. So if you want to see yesterday's show and it's not up on John's channel, or if they put it behind the scene or something, you go to my Kick channel. You could probably find a VOD from yesterday that has it in there. If you also happen to be there when there's a live stream going, avail yourself of the free AI voice chats we got. I just added Stuttering John. I don't know why that wasn't the first one that I put in there, but I just added Stuttering John, and you have other voices such as Jake Hudson, myself, Mumbling Nick, Kevin Brennan, Chad Zumach, and a whole bunch of others that were already there, like Ethan Ralph, Nick Ricada, PPP, Andy Worski, a few others, Peppa Pipkin, for those who know who she is. Excuse me. And a bunch of other voices in there that you can have fun with. You can also you can also create AI images on the fly. You can put in the command, and this is all listed on the site in the chat. You can look at the pinned images and the descriptions and stuff like that. You can use the command to actually create AI images that'll pop up on the screen. And you can also use a command to live clip things. So if something happens and you go, "Oh my God, I need to clip that," you could do !clip, put in the amount of seconds that you want to clip, up to 240 seconds back, and it'll give you a link, and you can go to that in the chat, and you go to that link. Well, everybody can, but you can go to that link, and your clip will be there, and you can immediately download it or send it off to social media. It's a great feature. It's way better than the built-in Kick clipping feature, which you can also use as well. You can also live clip through Kick or through MyWay. And soon I'm going to set up tips, but I'm not at that point yet. Anyway, that's it for me. It's Friday night. It's time to go get Friday night started. So y'all have a great night, and we'll see you in the next one.